Hello, beautiful hearts. Here we are again with Ada Andromeda. And today she will share with us about the quantum field. And actually, today I will learn with you guys. So, yes, Ada, tell us what you know about the quantum field and how it's this affecting us. Maybe it's not the right word, but how this is working for us and we are not consciously aware of it, and how important is that we don't fully understand.
Hmm. Yeah. What's coming to my mind first is to mention is that in science, apparently in the beginning of 1900s, they changed the periodic system, and the purpose was to control human beings, to make them believe that we are nothing more than these physical bodies that has almost like a life of its own, that is becoming older, and it's also related to this linear timing, that
Mm,
we just need basically food and breathe to exist. But it feels like they wanted to remove that so that people would not know anything about this conscious existence,
mm,
what it actually means to be alive, because we all are consciousness, we all are energy. Everything is energy, everything is consciousness. And this is actually scientifically also proven, but they removed etheric, the ether, from the periodic table in science because I'm sure, I mean, what else would the purpose, what would the
mm,
purpose be than controlling human beings into believing that the energy realms, the energy world is not real. And then it
exactly.
also makes people look stupid who actually are aware of energy, who can sense energy, who can sense us being alive as consciousness, and make them look like delusional. That's why all people who were, that's why the women were burnt on the stick and
Mm.
persecuted in different ways, who were trying to make people more aware of it.
So they kind of take off the most important things for
Mm.
us to not questioning, and if some people are tapping into that reality, actually are being name called as crazy
Mm.
because of losing their power or because they want to take power from us,
Mm.
making us to forget and to never remember.
Yeah, exactly. So the ether, I think that's an important thing to mention, because we have different bodies. We have the physical body. In my experience, the more I've explored the quantum field, which I also see as our higher self, our higher consciousness, that also is alive and experienced in this body. So to be alive is to have a consciousness.
Mm,
And this consciousness is has also an etheric form of it, and this is something that we can experience. It cannot maybe be seen in this physical reality, but the physical reality is also made up of that, because like I said, everything is energy, everything
yes.
is consciousness, and this is science. This is not a belief system. So in my experience, the more I've explored these inner worlds, this subconsciousness that lives and is alive at all times in our physical bodies, which also makes up much more than what we are aware in this. Like it's what actually is the steering wheel. When the more we can make what we are unconscious of and make conscious of that, if we are acting in these unconscious ways and in
Mm.
these reactive ways, and being very codependent and very
Blaming
sensitive,
way.
yeah, and pointing fingers, or being victims, or needing validation, or all of these. The more, or for example, being very in this fear state, like
Mm.
needing to be slaves to the society, like work hard in order to get money to survive. This is all survival patterns that the society has trained us to be, in order to be obey the system and be more like robots, and be less connected with our emotions and energy within in our bodies, which is to be alive actually. So that, with that being said, the subconsciousness, which is alive in the body, is also unlocked potential.
Mm.
So the more we can make that conscious, the more we can feel it and go within, and embrace what's within, in these deep states of relaxation where we actually have access to that. um, that makes us also purge out of baggage of what we don't need to hold on to, these unconscious patterns, unconscious ways, the survival ways of being. um
So you talk about this junk DNA that they say that is just
yeah,
junk when in reality actually is our superpower.
yeah, exactly, that's the same. I would see that as the subconsciousness also, but it's also our soul. And the more I've experienced these deeper states, that subconsciousness or that soul, that memory, that is stored in our body, which is, by the way, also our past lives, because there is no linear timing. There is
Mm.
no time. There, what we're experiencing right now is always, in one way or another, related to a past life.
Yeah, yeah.
So all of our unconscious fears, traumas that don't make any sense, or our loops, our attachments, our addictions, our codependent ways of being, where we give our power away, or so on, etc. They are all unconscious ways of being stored as consciousness in our body. So the more we can go within, in this subconsciousness, in that consciousness, in that memory stored in the body, is also upgrading our DNA when we purge that. But we have to
So,
go within to find it. So this is all related to the quantum field, because the quantum field basically means the connected space, the consciousness in the body. And the more I've explored that, the more I've found out that we have a physical body, but the physical body is only a base for the soul body to exist in, to experience it in this physical body, which are the emotions, which
mm.
are the sensations, which are the experiences we experience in the body, which are also the memories from the past lives and so on, and and the unconscious patterns from our childhood, for example, in this life. And then we have a mind body,
Mm.
which is more like, yeah, the mind, the mental ways of processing, and that's also part of this human experience. But when these are out of alignment, the mind wants to understand, it's logical, it will never grasp the soul, which is this experience in the body. So that's where people get more misaligned, when they don't have these bodies in alignment. And then there's this etheric body. That's why I mentioned ether, that was removed from the periodic table, because
Mm.
the ether is the, what people also call aura.
Mm.
It's just basically the consciousness. And again, another way of explaining consciousness in the body is like the energy
It can be
in.
also like ether is like the realities because the mind field is also an entity in itself.
Hmm.
The emotion body is an entity in itself. So it's like
Hmm.
layers, layers, layers. So that's all. The realities are different realities and perspective because it's everything is at one time is not existing. It's here right now.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I think when we try to explain the quantum field, we have to first understand all these different aspects of us, because what's the use of, so before we go more deeper into the quantum field, let's talk about this more, because the consciousness in the
Mm.
body, which it is also. Because if we have these belief systems, or fears, traumas, addictions, codependencies, different ways of being where we give our own power away, to something externally to of us, fear of speaking up, not being able to put boundaries, for example, because you have a belief system to be this kind person, an empathic person, that have this understanding, acceptance to everyone, and it's like, yeah, but they're just they're also suffering. Yeah, but we are here to also put boundaries. It's not making you a bad person. You are actually taking more responsibility for yourself by putting
Yes.
boundaries. So this is all to empower ourselves, to trust the energy in our body, which is the etheric body, and also the
Mm.
soul body, which is, so all of these mental patterns, these belief systems, actually the ways of thinking that are not empowered for us to coming from an empowered state of being, is actually stored as memory in our body. So
Mm.
mental patterns, what we call patterns, is a consciousness stored as memory in the body. So as much as we try to be aware of our minds, we should be aware of our emotions in our body, because that's the soul body, that's where everything is stored in. So like I said, the subconsciousness is made of, like the iceberg, when you have the tip and then under you have that bigger area, that's how much of influence we are from the subconsciousness. So making that more, uh, being more aware of that, going more within that, in as a memory in the consciousness in the body. We don't have to search for anything. Everything is available right now. So whatever you're feeling, whatever triggers you, especially, that is a memory stored in our consciousness in our body. So to become more aware of that is also to become more aware of our etheric body, which is the energy in the body. So these all, the physical body, etheric body, the soul body, the mind body, they can only be more in harmony with each other, in balance with each other, when we become more aware of what's inside and feel it, and purge it, and go
Mm.
within, just being basically committed to that. Then we can choose more, easier to be in an aligned state, because, of course, we are all connected to what's going around us, but we also have a choice. We
Mm.
don't have to always fall into these patterns. We can recognize them, but it gets easier to work around them, with the patterns, with the wounds, with the fears, unconscious fears. It gets easier to work around them the more aware we become of them as memories, as consciousness in our body. And the more we become aware of that, the more we know how to work with that as energy in the body, and the more we can be committed to that and release and let go of what we're holding on to, and not be afraid of meeting them, the more we are able to actually start to choose more what's empowering us, and choose more the alignment within. That should always be the guideline in life. That alignment within, now I'm coming to the quantum field,
Yes.
that alignment within what we are, which is the relaxed nervous system,
Mm.
which is not the reactivity mode, which is also empowered, which is also the passion, which is also the fire within, that says the truth, not to change others, is an unconditional state of being, where we fully express ourselves to our fullest potential, authentically, without needing validation. This is love. And
Yes.
to care about someone is also to call out on stuff. Hey, I feel triggered about this, but I'm not pointing fingers at you right now. I'm just sharing. Or hey, I don't like when you talk to me like this. And this is all love,
Yes.
to put boundaries, because this is coming from an empowered state of being, because we are connected with our energy in our body, we are connected with our relaxed nervous system, and this relaxed nervous system is what we have to create from within. It's not coming from outside of us, it's something we have to train, to be committed to be committed to our truth
Mm.
within. And this truth, this is all connected to the quantum field. So the quantum field basically means our higher self. I think that that's another way to describe our higher self, actually, because that's the quantum field, is the information in the quantum realms, which means we are all connected. We are all connected to source, which is our soul's origin, which is the light, as a frequency that we embody within. And the more light we can embody, the more higher frequency we can embody, the more magnetic we become. And that also means the more connected we are to our truth, with not taking any bullshit, you know.
Mm.
That empowered state of being, that unconditional way of being, open-hearted way of being, receiving love, giving love, but also knowing where the boundaries are, so we can keep connected and aligned to our higher self, the higher purpose of why we actually are here, exist here on earth. The more we can be committed to that, the more we are connected to the source within. Okay, so this light within is what we are all existed of, but some people have less of it, and some people have more of it. And people who have who are less connected to it, they are more codependent. They are more acting from traumas, which are
Mm.
like a neediness of energies from outside of themselves. The more you're connected to the light, the more you have worked on your stuff, the more connected you are to the quantum field, which is the also the etheric body, to know the energy in the body, to trust the feelings, emotions, sensations, and energy in the body, to have that inner alignment as a guideline, to know what empowers, to know how to be committed to what you're experiencing, as befriending yourself. That's all connected to the quantum field, the higher self.
So, because I'm listening and I was like, so you said that when we are connecting with the quantum field, is actually that potential of how can I say, of touching the subconscious mind, or being
Mm,
like, because it's like that's why it's all realities, all the lifetimes, everything is in this quantum field. The
exactly.
patterns that comes also not only in this life, it can come also from other past life that are in the subconscious mind. So the quantum field is actually touching or reaching your own subconscious mind.
Exactly. It's that you can call it subconsciousness, I think.
Okay.
You can, these are just labels.
Yes.
I feel
Names. Yeah.
like, yeah. But what I know is that we have a library within. We have
Oh
a
yeah.
memory stored in our bodies, and this is, you can call it the subconscious mind, but you can also call it the quantum field. It's like the memory, the information that goes beyond of what we perceive outside of us. It's more like what we are experiencing within. And the more we can connect to that and feel it and experience it, um, and purge, the more we can make space for more light, for more higher frequency within, to expand our energy and trust our energy more. So it's all basically coming boiling down to that. But this quantum field, the subconscious mind, is like it's like the memory stored in our body, like you said. So to it's kind of like the making the unconscious conscious, like you said. So it's
Yes.
like it can be memories from the past life surfacing in this moment. Actually, whatever we're experiencing right now, like I said, they're always related to one past life in one way or another. There's no time. There's
Yes.
only information of the soul, and that's the
Yes.
quantum field. That's the information of the soul stored in our body as memory. So the quantum field is the source, our origin, our higher self, which is connected to source, our origin. So the higher self is that inner seer, that inner alignment. It's like we have a higher intelligence that is overlooking our life. And we can have access to that part of us if we really want to in relaxed states. Then we
Mhm.
can recreate the nervous system to a more new, and more empowered, more full of life, more relaxed, and and then it's easier to navigate in life to what's empowering, what's to choose more how we want to feel and manifest a better life for us in that way, because it's coming from the higher self. So the quantum field is like the library, you can say, like you said,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
memory stored in the body.
Because I see more you say like more we take responsibility over ourselves, what we feel and all that, this quantum field is expanding more and more, and with that expansion is coming this reaching the full potential of who you are as a soul walking on earth, which is
Mm.
actually also get in touch with your subconscious mind.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
those that are more living from reactive way and from unconscious and this mind state is just is just, I don't know, I see them like a tube, it's just such a small and such a weak energies that
Mm.
that's why they look around for things for
Mm.
validation, because they try to make that bigger.
Yeah,
And I just
exactly.
see pictures, so that's why I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, that's such a nice way to, how to describe it. It's such a practical way how you describe it right now. And yeah, exactly. So expanding the magnetic field, the generator within to generate life, the life force. It's, yeah, it's also connected to the quantum field. So it's also the heart. What I'm
mm.
feeling, the heart as the center. I see the heart, the heart chakra as the center of the universe. Actually,
I see it as a portal of divine, yeah, which is center of the
exactly. So
universe.
so the universe is not outside of us. It's not something we are part of. Yeah, we are part of it, but it's our body. It lives in our
In
body. That's how powerful we are. So the more we can know that, the more we can get to know that us as the universe. It sounds like egoistic, but no, it's
I know,
not. It's
yes,
just your full potential. We are
yeah.
all light. We are all part of source, our origin of our soul. So the more we can know that and expand the energy consciously, be more empowered, and so on and so on, like I've repeated now, the
Hmm.
more we are connected to the quantum field, the source, the light within, a high frequency, the more we can embody that, the more we're also changing time, jumping timelines, and
Oh
we're
yeah.
changing the meaning of this moment, and not only this moment but also past life. And by changing the meaning of this moment, we change the meaning of past life, and we change the meaning of the future. They are all connected and here and right now what we are
And we
experiencing.
and at the same time we jump, shifting timelines.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, you can call the quantum field as the library of the soul, but it's all what we, wherever, whatever we need is available right now,
Yeah.
stored in the body, as a memory, as a feeling, as a consciousness, as an energy, as an sensations. Whatever it is, we can't label them. We have to experience them, and that's going beyond the mind, and that's trusting our energy more.
So let's say, how can humans tap into their own quantum field? Is to take responsibility, is to come from a place of not reacting, but be more observing what's going on in your body. For example, people say, yes, I want to expand, I want to have my own field very big. I think, yeah. So how we do that?
If you are attached to having a big magnetic, be very magnetic, and the whole idea of being attached to being a magnetic is also like, it's another way of having an attachment. It's just basically having more flow, like like we said, the universe lives within. So allowing the universe to work through us in this natural way of being in flow, and um, so it's like you said, to take responsibility for what one is feeling inside, what one is experiencing inside the body, without needing to have something to fill it up as a gap, within. It's like the gap itself that we feel, maybe the emptiness we feel inside, is actually an initiation for more energy to be burst through us, for more light to be burst through us. To be committed to oneself is always the key. And So to be more magnetic is actually just basically taking, yeah, like you said, taking responsibility for what we're experiencing within, not running away from oneself, and choosing what is empowering, what is actually um, truly us, which doesn't need validation from the outside. So we don't
So
need to. We don't have to have this need to have a big magnetic field. It's
no,
just
exactly.
naturally coming through naturally. Yeah.
Taking responsibility. For example, taking this when people experience a huge crisis in their life, there is like a crossroads where their soul are pushing them to go to the next level. And by
Mhm.
doing that, that means they need to take totally another decision, and that will kind of blow this quantum field. Because I
Mhm.
say like not to wanting to expand because people may run after, oh, I want to be really magnetic and I need to do this. That's another way of attachments. That's
Mhm.
another way of holding. It's totally wrong. It's just
Mhm.
a path to allow, to flow, to move.
Mhm. Um, and then there are actually ways of tapping into the quantum field in a deeper way, where you can recreate your life. And that recreating your life actually comes from recreating your body's consciousness. You can upgrade your body by clearing out all this baggage of traumas. By going deeper into that, by really doing it, like really doing the work and really transforming the energies within and upgrading the DNA, which is also what we are doing in this life. The on the latent DNA that the scientists call it the 95%. These are all potential, latent potential within. So all of this is accessible actually the more deeper states that we can consciously relax ourselves into. The more conscious we can be of our body as consciousness, the more deeper states we can travel into, and we can always have access to it with the breath, um, letting go, being aware, sitting what we are experiencing with, but also with the maybe help of another person to guide us or to hold space. It's also good to deeper and deeper and deeper relax ourselves into this 0 point state that I call it, where we shut down the activity, reactivity mode. So it's kind of like almost like as if the body is just in such a peaceful state, and we all have access to it. The more deeper in this relaxed state we can travel, the more we can rewire the nervous system and purge and then make space more of higher frequency.
And activate that 95% of junk DNA that
Mhm.
they speak
And the
us.
more
Because it's to
exactly,
be present in the body, that means actually to activate that part of
yeah,
DNA.
it's activated naturally by letting go
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
yeah, the
Yes.
stagnant consciousness within. So when we talked in your last episode about the inner fire, the kundalini, the life force, the chi, the all of this, that the generator within, that manifests who we truly are and manifests what we really would like in our body, because in our life it's growing that energy from it. It's liberating the soul through this body,
Yes.
is healing all the traumas and is recreating a new empowered state of being. All of this, the life force within, which is also connected to the sexual energy, but which is the creative life force we don't have, which we talked a lot about it in your last episode.
Yeah.
But this creative life force, this inner fire within, this kundalini, can only be raised up through us and purged and liberated through us, because it's our spirit wanting to come free in this body. But it can only come up and raise through us and open our chakras by by making space for it. It's not trying to activate it. Yeah. It's about making space in the body so it can naturally, the natural flow of life can flow through us more. And that happens by letting go of what we are attaching to, holding on to, um, and just being with that stagnant energy in the body as a consciousness, as a trauma, whatever you want to call it, sitting with it, being with it, going within it, explore it in these deep states of relaxation, and naturally purge it and let it naturally be purged through you, whatever the body wants to do. In this way, we are releasing here inside And then we are making space for the life force to flow through us naturally. And then we become naturally more magnetic.
What is this Kundalini activation? Because it's not just activated and you are boof. No, because your body have so much junk in it, so much
Mm,
things to let go, and it's
mm,
impossible for that to just go because you have an experience of a really surface of the
mm,
experience.
mm.
Yeah, but that's another subject for another time for sure.
And I think I want to also say that there are many layers to the subconscious mind, to the quantum field. There are many layers to peel off as consciousness in the body. There's a lot to do in this life. So the more we can be committed to that, the more of this life force we will bring naturally through us. It will flow naturally through us. So this last part I think was important to be mentioned, the process of it, that it's not about activating it. It is to clear, it is to purge, it is to be committed to what we're experiencing within.
It's to make space in the body for that to more
Yeah.
take place.
Yeah, one more thing we didn't
Yeah.
mention in the last episode, by the way, was that in tantric communities, when people want to explore this life force within, which is also connected to the quantum field,
Yes.
which is because it's our spirit wanting to come free in this body, many people hold on to that experience that they
Yeah.
get exploring it with others. But actually, what they're doing is that they're cutting out their roots to the earth, because we are energetically connected to the earth as consciousness, and it's from the root. But if the more you can know your roots to the earth as energy, the more you are connected to something bigger. Because if you're cutting out that and thinking that this is something you have to relate to others to sexually, in the sexual, not having sex necessarily, but
Yeah.
intimately, then you are cutting that bigger life force out,
Mm.
which actually wants to come through you. The more we attach it to others, we are it's based on attachment. So the more baggage we are actually taking on, it feels pleasurable in the moment, but it's not in the end. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's a really dangerous game to play around with.
Mm.
So beautiful hearts. So what's take to be magnetic is to be yourself, to let go, to breathe, and to make unconscious, to be present in your body, and to allow more light to come and to take space in your body is to let go, is not to activate anything, is to deal with the triggers, whatever
Mm.
beliefs, whatever stuff is coming out through the day from left and right, is to take responsibility. That's all that's required, and willingness
Mm.
to be with yourself, to work on yourself, and to know there is something bigger than us that's living in us.
And I was gonna say also not identifying with what one is experiencing
Yes.
within what one is experiencing, and not holding on to the experience, and not holding on to specific ideas about it or
Yeah,
even techniques to use. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
necessarily.
it's just an experience to have, not to tag, to flag, to put there, this is X, this is Y. It's just to be with it, to feel it, and to let it go, and to be curious what's next. So, something more to add, Ada?
Mm-mm. I think
Okay.
that was it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your presence, Ada. So, beautiful hearts, thank you for listening, hearing, and I trust that you will take the path that your soul is choosing you and let it go of the mind reality that has been created for itself, because the mind is an entity in itself, and it's a game that have no place for what is inside our body to flow. So take care for next time.